First of all, welcome back to Jamshedpur FC.
Thank you very much. Delighted to be here.
How are you feeling coming back?
Yeah, I was obviously given the history we had and what we've done together. And every time I've came to Jamshedpur, even as an opposing coach, with the atmosphere at the furnace, it's been terrific. So I'm really looking forward to being the home head coach at the furnace because sampling that atmosphere, then it's been great. And I know a lot of the players speak so well of it. Actually, Jordan Murray messaged me. FaceTime yesterday to say, "Oh, Gaffer, the atmosphere, you'll love the." I said, "Well, I know from being the opposing coach, Joe, but being obviously head coach of Jamshedpur, I'm very proud about that. It's a great club with great people, and that was a huge part of coming back because I know everything the club stands for. The people that work here, Mukul, Prashant, and Roa, all the ones that I was fortunate to work with before. Obviously, the chairman's changed now. Shanyaka was a fantastic chairman for me. And we now have an excellent chairman moving forward. So really football-minded people that want the best for the club, for the town, the city, and that's what we have to do moving forward. Yeah, so excited to be back. Looking forward to putting a winning team in the field, and that's the important thing at all football clubs.
You left this club on the highest possible high, lifting the league shield. When you walked back into the facility today, did those memories come rushing back?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you share really special football times with people, those never leave you. I mean, every time you Jamshedpur would come up in the conversation, then of course it's only natural that you revisit, and it's nice. But what we have to do moving forward is make new memories, and the way we got to do that is by working hard and being competitive as always done, but being pleasing on the eye, being an entertaining team that the fans want to watch. And we know how passionate our fans are at the furnace. We want to make sure that when they come along, when they leave the games, they leave thinking, I really enjoyed that. That's my team. I enjoy the way they go about their work. And because football in this area, I mean, it's a huge passion. And we want to make sure that we're competitive and like everybody else, and with a chance of winning trophies.
What was it about this moment and this opportunity that made you decide now is the time to go back?
Yeah, well, I think obviously when I left after winning the Shield, we had 2 years of COVID in a bio bubble, and that was a real challenge for everybody. We certainly stuck together and we showed some fantastic qualities coming through that. I mean, that season, the records we broke were amazing, and that wasn't about one person. That was a collective effort, and that's what we need. Our strength at Jamshedpur will always be as a group, but it was a fantastic achievement given that there was big spending clubs, as we know. There always is in every country in the world. And for us to believe in our process and what we believe in is that finding young, talented players in the mix with obviously some terrific foreigners, some experienced players, and putting them in. But we love to give young talent a chance, as Tata has always done, through all different sports. And that's really important that we, being part of that our brand, whatever you want to call it, our identification, that identity that we show, that young people, young talents that maybe other people have given up on, I don't know, but we recognise something. Perfect example is if I give you the example of Ritwick. That season we had a very good squad, we were excited, looking forward to getting into the season. And then Farouk took a really bad injury playing for the national team. Farouk, I think he'd knocked the ball back for Sunil to score, maybe in the SAFF championships that India won. And but in the process in the game, he did his cruciate ligament, he was out for the whole year. So then we were minus a very talented forward, in which Farouk Chowdhury is. And I remember going sitting with Prashant, and I said, "Right, Prashant, I need another attacking option." The season was upon us, about to start, and Prashant says, "Okay, let me look through some young talents that we've seen before," and we did that. I sat with Prashant that night. We never even, into the early hours of the morning, because it was important that we found this player that could help us in the squad. And within that, anyway, we looked at these players, and the one we really liked was the bits we seen was Ritwick. So I did a bit of background because Ritwick had played at Real. He played at Real Kashmir with David Robertson, who's a Scot. So I'd phoned David and he says, "Yeah, very talented player. You'd really enjoy working with him. I think you could bring the best out of him." And then when I look back at his Kerala situation, the season before he'd started the season, the first game of the ISL in the team, and then Kerala had probably didn't have a great start, so they changed the team, which is natural because we all do that. And then he found himself down the pecking order and not involved. So when I looked at it, and me and Prashant, spoke endlessly about it, it told me that he'd done enough in the pre-season to be in the starting 11 for Kerala, who's a fantastic club, and they'd some very good players. So I knew then the talent was there. So we followed it up. Prashan, moved very, very quickly. We were able to secure Ritwick, and he came in, and he just got better and better. Obviously, the last couple of years he's been blighted by injury, but he looks fit and healthy just now. And what my job now is to get him back to that level he was before. Because if you have Ritwick and you have Sanan and these young, exciting players, then we have players that get fans out of their seats, they get excited. And we want to win games, but we want the fans to enjoy what they're watching and get excited. So that's probably the best example of, in terms of how we work, in terms of bringing young talents, people that may be discarded, but we'll give them a chance and hopefully bring the best out of them.
You have been managing in the ISL with Chennai since you left. Watching Jamshedpur from the opposition dugout, what was your assessment of the team over the last year?
Yeah, I think over the last couple of years, there was obviously some change. When I left, obviously my heart sank the following season, because from being champions, it wasn't a great season, and the following season didn't start the great either. But to be fair, Khaled came in and did a very good job. We got a team together, got some good players, and again, with Prashant in the team as well, there was some good recruitment, players that came to the club, and that always gives you a chance. Better players gives you a chance of winning games when you can get all the bits and pieces to go along with that. So obviously we've seen a very competitive team last year, a team that went and fought for every game. Obviously last year and I hope my record continues, because I've got a very good record at the Furnace as an opposing coach. So I hope that transpires as the home coach. So, but yeah, regardless, they had some very good players, a number of players I knew because I'd worked with them before, and they were capable of scoring goals from dangerous situations. So yeah, I think they did very well. What we want to do is keep that going, keep building, get back to obviously the level we were at, which was, it doesn't get any better than being the champions of India. I'm still, if I'm honest, a little bit miffed, I would say, by the fact that the club never get the opportunity to play in the AFC, because they should have been the champions of India. The cup competitions are great. The Super Cup and obviously the ISL Cup at the end of but the best team in India is the team that wins the Shield, because they're the team that for the duration of the league, they've proven to be the best team. Cup competitions, sometimes everybody's not at full strength, sometimes it's only 4 games to win that cup. In a Shield, you've got to win over the whole duration of the season, and we showed, the records we broke, the games we were winning, the goals we were scoring, the points we attained, broke every record that season. That'd be lovely to go and do that. That would be difficult because of circumstances, but that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming to have a team that's competitive, can stand toe to toe with the best, and that takes time. You don't click your fingers and it falls into place. It takes hard work on the training ground. It takes repetition. It takes everyone coming together, and that's always been our strength at Jamshedpur. It's never about 1 or 2 individuals. Of course, they've got their role to play, but our strength will always be as a group. When we're united together, the fans, the players, the staff, everybody, then you always have a chance of winning, and that's what we have to do.
The league faced some challenges this year. This will be a factor of unpredictability. As a coach, what was your message, in the training field and in the dressing room to boost the morale of the players?
No, that's a very good question, because it has been turbulent times. It's not been nice reading about the situation and the dramas that have been unfolding for everybody. It's been very unsettling, particularly for players and families and people that rely on the football industry, because football is global. It's the best game in the world, and I know obviously in India cricket's held in a high esteem, as it should be. But globally, football is the best game in the world for a reason, because every country plays it, and everybody loves it, and it costs nothing to play. You could find a rolled up pair of socks or anything, and kids could play. So that's why, again, and the other thing as well, with all due respect to all the other sports, and I'm biased obviously, but footballers have to run at really fast speeds and use their feet. Nobody uses their feet for anything. Everything we do with our hands. If you think of how you do in life, apart obviously from walking that we do. So to do then have ability to hit a ball and crack a volley, and that's why this is the best sport in the world by far. So it's nice now, back to your question, that football's up and running. And what we want to do is play our part in that. Time constraints make things difficult, because normally from your 5 weeks pre-season, we're now trying to, certainly as a coach and coaching staff, You're trying to have everything in the 3 weeks to have your team ready. So that's a challenge because we have to be wary of that we don't pick up like any muscle injuries within that. When you play games, there'll always be collisions and trauma injuries, but in terms of muscle injuries, that's something that can be avoided. So we have to plan that training very carefully, very meticulously to try and avoid any of those injuries because we want a full, fit and healthy squad to be ready for our first game at home at the Furnace. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, you can see just now I'm excited about the atmosphere and the crowd, and we want to make sure that we give them a team that they can be proud of.
Everyone remember the Coyle style, high energy, relentless passing, fighting for every ball. Is that still the blueprint, or can we expect a different tactical approach this time?
No, I think what we do is we always, as a coach, you obviously have a certain way that you like to play, but equally as well, you've got to understand what group of players you have. And the group I've come in, the group was already set, so I've inherited the group. So we have to make sure we get the best out of those players. I always remember, because obviously people talk about this and that, if you look back in that season we won the Shield, Jamshedpur was a high scoring team and the most entertaining team in the league. Obviously with your Greg Stewarts and your Ritwicks and Borises and really fantastic entertaining players, and we have that again. So we will look as always to pass and move that ball. We love playing with wide players that take fullbacks on, get fans out of their seat and get excited. We have goal scorers. I think it was a terrific signing in Messi Bolly. We have Midi Talal. If we get Midi back to his full health and fitness, he's a wonderful player. Ray Chikawa's been here and we have young Sana and Ritwick and young ones coming in the back of that as well. And that excites me as well, because obviously there's younger players as well who'll get the chance if they're good enough. We've seen the emergence of Nicky Barla. I really liked seeing him last year in playing. We've brought some other very good players in. So all in all, we'll be playing, obviously, as we all want to do, a fast, exciting brand of football, but one that's very enjoyable, one that's pleasing the eye, and one that ultimately, which we love in football because we love to be thrilled, one that's exciting.
The Furnace is known for being one of the toughest places, to visit when it's rocking with the fans.
Well, I hope that's right.
How crucial will that home form and support be in your plans for the season?
Yeah, so that's a message I'd like to convey just now to the fans, to come along, be vocal. There'll be times that sometimes they make a bad decision and are uncontrollable, but it won't stop those Jamshedpur fans, because I've seen, I think particularly last year, or even the year before I came, and the last 10-15 minutes getting behind the team, galvanising them, because I know people use words cheaply, but I can assure you, when the Furnace is at full atmosphere and full throttle, that certainly is worth that extra man. So please come along, get behind your team. Even in difficult moments, that's the time when the players need the fans. It's everybody joins in when you're winning 2 and 3-0, but in difficult moments, that's when the fans, when they're vocal and get behind the team and sing their songs, that's when they'll be really needed. So come along, get behind the team, and we'll do everything to win football games for you.
How was your first 2 training session, with the lads, and how?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the sessions. Have been very, very good. I've enjoyed their attitude. I've enjoyed their energy, how they went about it, and of course, as I've tried to explain, in time constraints, everything's a little bit different in terms of how we try and get all the work done within that time period, so we're ready. But we've done it before. I remember one of the years in the bubble, I think we had 3.5 weeks to get the team ready, and we did, and that's what we'll do. But the players know that, and what I've loved is the focus and the attitude to that, understanding obviously the message that we relay when the time to come that, and then when we come away from the sessions you mentioned, it's important that we recover quicker, we recover quickly. So that's a huge part of not only undertaking the training, but making sure we recover well for the next session, so we avoid those fatigue and muscle injuries that pre-season can bring anywhere across the world. We have to make sure that we're okay in that department.
The fans have never forgotten you, the shield and everything. And after your announcement, there has been a lot of love, if you see in social media and everywhere else. So how, along with the love, there's a lot of expectations coming along.
Yeah.
So, so how's that feeling?
Well, what I would say is I'm not on social media, but it's nice. It's nice when you're welcomed, and because obviously I've been feeling a part of the club as well. And expectations always come in football, so I've got no worries about expectation, because nobody puts more pressure on themselves than me, because I want to give this. As I say, it's not just a football club; it's a whole city, the whole area of Jharkhand. You want to give them a team that they're proud of, a team they can talk about again, and and we look at our history. Then the Shield is the one trophy that we've won. We proved we're the best in the country, in the whole India, for Jamshedpur to show they're the best team in the whole of the country. Then that's a magnificent achievement. So we've done that, but we don't want to rest on the laurels. We want to get back again and be competitive, fighting out for those trophies, and that's what we look to do. So yeah, of course, nobody has greater expectations than myself. I think we've good players. We will still look, maybe there's a little nugget, a little gem becomes available that we can add to what we're doing. So we certainly have a few weeks to do that. So I mean, we'll sit, myself and Prashant sit every day anyway and discuss all the football matters. Where can we get better? Even that little thing that makes us better, because ultimately the margins between a lot of the teams in the ISL are very fine. There can be a coat of paint between winning and drawing games, between drawing and losing. We have to make sure we come out on the right side of those margins. If you do that, as we've shown before, you can have a really successful season. And a big thing in football as well, obviously with the confidence, is momentum. If you can start well, hit the ground running, which you will probably need to do given it's a short season, then that can take you forward and propel you into being in a challenge position. And that's what we have to try and do.
Thank you, Coach.
Pleasure
Thank you
as
so much.
always.